Hey everybody, happy 2026. Welcome back to Big Ideas with BFO. I'm still your host, Steve Krull. Let's get started, shall we? Today, I want to talk about leadership. However, this is applicable to anyone, and it's about trust. David Maister coined a phrase called the trust equation, and he built an equation based on this. And on the top line, it's trust equals credibility plus reliability plus something he calls intimacy over this idea of self-orientation. And I come from a school that says afford somebody full trust and let that either remain at full trust or chip away if they're not doing their job. Let's dive into credibility, reliability, and I'm gonna call intimacy something else because it sounds weird in the equation. But before we do that, I wanna start at self-orientation. This is the idea of how much self-interest I have, and it's this idea that if it's all about me, that people aren't going to trust me as much if I'm self-absorbed. And maybe self-orientation is a better word, but it feels a little soft in here, and I'm not knocking Maister. I'm just thinking about everyday uses of the trust equation. Would you trust somebody who's all into themselves? It's really, really difficult. Now, so the closer that number is to zero, if at the bottom of this equation, well, then your trust equation is gonna come very, very small. It's gonna be very low, the outcome of this equation. Not to say we're putting numbers to it, it's more thinking about it in a figurative sense. Credibility. What do I bring to the table? What are my skills? What's my history? What's my experience? That's my credibility. Reliability, number two in the equation, reliability. Am I doing what I say I'm going to do when I say I'm going to do it? If I'm reliable, if I say I'm gonna be there at 8 and I routinely show up at 8:30 or 9 o'clock or a no-show, what happens to trust? It goes down immediately, right? And then there's this intimacy, and I call this closeness instead because intimacy sounds a little kinky, and I don't want that here. The idea of closeness means what is our relationship like, right? Because if I know you well, then trust is going to increase as part of this equation. And if we're close, that's gonna work out. If we're not so close, or if you distance yourself, it's hard to trust. So I wanna base relationships on truth, honesty, and transparency, which for me fit into these little nuggets of what Maister calls his trust equation. So as you think about this and you think about leading your own life and working with peers, subordinates, and superiors, think about how you are either building or eroding trust in your day-to-day. Your credibility. What are you bringing to the table that says, I know what I'm talking about? Reliability. What are you doing that's going to say, I'll get this done when I say it's going to be done, or I'm going to bring the right people in to get it done when it needs to be done. And then there's that closeness factor. And how close are you? Are we having these conversations? Are you chatting with me along the way? Because if you're chatting with me along the way about the project, or we're connecting, well, guess what? We're going to get that closeness because now we're talking about the project. And as long as you meet your dates, and I know you're credible from our conversations, we're in a good spot. So long as you're not entirely self-absorbed, which I don't find a lot, but I think as humans, we tend to weed out the people that we want to be with and the people we want to work with, people we want to play with, etc. There you have it. Afford full trust from day one. Don't start at 0 and say, oh, now I trust them. No, start at 100% and say, you know what? This was a great hire. This is a great person for the project, whatever it is. They've met the marks. If they come down a little bit, great. It's okay. If they come down too far, your responsibility is to have that conversation with them. Fair enough? Thank you for stopping by. This has been another Big Idea with BFO. We'll talk to you soon.